All right, so all of a sudden, these past few years, we've got these Americans saying they have so much love all of a sudden for children, which obviously you know the numbers with regard to what I've said it before. Yeah, 1.2 million barbaric slaughters of defenseless innocent children per year. 4,000 a day through what they call abortion relates, birth control methods and procedures stuff before birth. But all of a sudden, people just have so much love for these precious innocent children. What are the numbers? What are the statistics regarding American children? What's the truth? I should preface by saying this and get this out of the way first of all, which is really strange. I did some research on this, okay? So more than about 350 shootings since, I guess, like going back to the 1920s, y'all, in American schools. Gonzaga, there was it's like a college. Because I'm from Cleveland, Ohio. We had a nasty one up in Case West. It's a private school in the Far East Side, Big money, right? I went to the Cleveland State University, graduated in 03. North Olmsted High School, 98, Ohio. All right, so Gonzaga had something in 1971, which is a private school. There have been no incidents at any private schools or universities, except that issue with regard to Case. I don't understand that. Very strange how these Catholic universities haven't had issues or schools. I mean, St. Ed, St. Ignatius. We've had like bomb threats and stuff like that at the. But anyway, it's just really. It seems to be all around the public schools. All right, so what do we know about this? I'm just going to throw this out from what I've learned, kind of put things into perspective where we are with regard to the issue of these precious children that the government and the media love so much. I'm laughing at this because they don't. The stuff that they're putting into these children's bodies, like what the WTF? The majority of these children in these public and obviously the bad kids, they call them kids, not children, because they like the idea of turning them into animals, the way that the white supremacists did with regard to slaves. They made them like animals, so the children are like animals, kids. The majority of their parents are drug users and or alcoholics. That's Catholic, that's public schools, doesn't matter what. Okay, so about more than a third of these children currently are obese. I'm a special needs child. I was, whatever you want to call it, I guess, 12% are going to be persons with disabilities. And actually, that's as of today's number. So when 15 years from now, it's going to be even higher, way higher in the United States of America. A very high majority of their parents already own a thing called, a ballistic firearm, and they vehemently, adamantly support it because they're racists. The white supremacy system, and that's not just private schools, because the private school curriculum is still under the state, which is white supremacy, has caused the very high majority, very, very high majority, I think more than 85%, less than Catholic schools, to be under the vaccination system at birth. Even the little girls are getting like these strange vaccinations so they won't get like an STD, I guess, for the first 5, 10, 15 years. I don't know. I mean, I didn't lose my virginity until I was 17, late 17. I guess maybe I was later. Who knows? Compared to most people, I'm not sure about that statistic. It's really sad, y'all. Here's something I should say too that's very important. Like you know how okay, so like the whole COVID thing, okay, back when it first started, first few people got it and it started scattering. They said, hey, where have you? Yeah, the doctors like ask you, where have you been to Africa? Have you been to out of the United States of America? That kind of thing. Well, okay, so you just got tested positive with the PCR, so you got the COVID thing. Where have you been? They got to find out. They got to track this out because your hands, everything, because this COVID stuff stays for like. Wasn't it a few hours, something like that? 3 hours, it stays alive or something. So, okay, you were at the beach. You were at McDonald's. Okay, shut it down, shut it down. You were at the park, shut it down. So they go back. These. I don't know who these government people would bring out, and they'd shut stuff down. They'd clean it. Now, then back then, they just eventually just gave up and they started locking everything down. So. You see a correlation where this person's been, and then they follow it to see where, what's going on, who they've been around. Quarantine. What correlation are we seeing here with regard to these children? The United States of America is the only nation that does 100% today, as of today. Going back to the year 2002, the only nation that does 100% of births are done through 100% of births that are where they're doing an epidural, which is more than 2/3, almost in some cases, some statistics show over 80%. Epidural is fentanyl, okay, and they started mixing, going back and forth to get the choice between morphine and fentanyl. Most people didn't know the difference. Late 80s, not too much was used fentanyl, and like if they use heroin, for example, in the UK at birth. Other countries, like Russia, they don't use no. Most of it's natural or at home. Way north, that comes to say Copenhagen, Denmark, Norway, Finland. And obviously, the Philippines and Thailand. More and more of these births are being done at home, though. I mean, more and more births are being done instead of at home. They're going to the hospital like they're sick or something. I'm seeing a correlation between this fentanyl that's getting into these children. They're getting addicted to it, and you can see 100% of these times the children are severely mentally fucked up. And don't give me your bullshit about the child being, they're legal white supremacy law, an adult at the age of 18 or 19 or 20. They're just not all there. They don't act like they're a child either. I mean, they don't act like they're an adult, my bad. These are just some numbers, okay? They're hooked on video games. We're not hearing about these video games in the media. Back when I was your age, back when I was in the 1990s, I think is what it was. I got a computer, 486. What's up, baby? Hewlett Packard Bell, I think is what it was. I played this video game called Doom. We had this circular. I had a double shotgun thing, and I had this like laser would just like wipe out an area. But I could control it better. Another weapon I had was like a big boom, like also laser, but it could like blow up the whole area. And then when you run out of all your ammunition, you got like a gun, and then you got a fist. That's all you got left. And you got to fight these like weird things like demons and I don't know, like those weird like werewolf kind of things, I enjoyed playing Doom, DOOM. Y'all know what I'm talking about too. So you can't tell me that it's not getting in a person's head. Mortal Kombat is another one. This is back in the 90s. Y'all, I don't know what's going on today. They got like PlayStation. I'm blind, okay? Really, I got a lot of eyesight, but maybe that's why I'm not doing these things anymore. Maybe that's how it caused my blindness. LH1 and MS. So I think the video games and the not the acceptance, but the pushing on a child to do that because they want to get away. The parents don't want to be raising the children. They want to go work. The numbers of these things have been, skyrocketing, more and more common now, And you got like the knucklehead, not a congressman, Senator Ted Cruz. He's a fucking politician. called some interesting names on Donald Trump. But he has some ideas of making like more bulletproof windows. I don't know if we had bulletproof windows when I was in high school, middle school, elementary school. Certain ways they want to like lock down the schools. I don't think that's a solution. I think we need to get the children away from the schools and with their mommy and daddy more often. So the biggest statistic, though, I got to give out to y'all is this, okay? 40% of these children are never going to know their biological father. I'm one of these, okay? I can't get hearings, y'all. I just can't get a hearing. Florida, Children and Family Services. Obviously, Ohio, Children and Family Services. As they've been changing the laws with regard to making sure that the children get to be able to be with mommy and daddy, the girls have been finding new ways to like get away from the father. They just don't like it. They just want to get pregnant and run first trimester. Sometimes they'll go a little bit longer, trying to figure out. Like the guy's like the plan B. He's like the backup. Maybe I'll keep staying around, keep milking this guy, see how much more I can get out of him. So 40% of these children in these schools do not currently know their father, and will never know their. Actually, the numbers are even higher than not currently know their father. It's more than 50%. But more than one out of two of those children don't even know their father. I coached, well, 1/4, but 5th and 6th graders. Not even half of them lived with their father. But it's been happening more and more. So, like, for some reason, these children are not like, even less and less. You'd think that as the legislators are making more laws to say, okay, yeah, we see a correlation here. Children are messed up. They're going to be in prison. Oh, another thing, too, that many of these parents are in prison. It's like less than 10%. But, I mean, okay, it's less than 10%. But 1.5% are currently in prison, incarcerated, and about 10% of the parents are going to be or have been incarcerated. Incarcerated, meaning not just jail, but prison. That's how fucked up this country is. Compared to other countries, it's not even close. It's the worst. So I guess it's really for other people to understand where we're coming from, this country. I'm inside America. I understand better what's going on. I should talk about this one man I met, too, regarding the Parkland situation. It's sick. It's bad. It's serious. What were the numbers? I thought it was like 16% or 15% I saw somewhere. I heard somewhere. I can see things, too. Whereby these children are smoking cigarettes. I don't know about the shooters, though. Do I think that, the children should just automatically get on psychiatric meds at the age of 5 and 6 and 7? Oh, ADHD skyrocketing. It's like 40% now, the numbers. And the numbers of children who are, psychiatrically, or whatever you call it, psychologically impaired now. Not to intellectually impaired, but just got some stuff going on. It's over 85%, public and private. But I should say this, private, for some reason, the numbers are way low. Maybe they're just using different kind of statistical analyses than the public schools and universities. I don't know. I'm just going through some numbers in my mind. And the mothers are just, okay, so 40% are, more than 50% are, they don't know their father. But what's up with the mothers? I'm not kidding you. I've met 0 moms who had their heads on straight, were really committed to being. I've always been a stay-at-home father. And in my situation, I just, as much as I'm committed to the loyalty of fatherhood and being with my children all the time, I've always been. My first 4 children who were out of the womb, I would say about 99% of the time I was with my children. More than 99% of the time. But there's been some little things whereby, I would run off somewhere for like a doctor's appointment or something. Which, yeah, when I went to get my teeth worked on, and that's when my wife left with their children. In that situation, got my amalgam fillings taken out, replaced. But you know what? It's a blessing that what happened in that situation and all these matters. But the government is 100% to blame because they see what's going on. It's like, why are we doing these things? Fentanyl is not. I don't care about the addiction part of it, but some people are more prone, more allergic to it than others. There's people that anybody can overdose on it just by touching it. However, some people can touch it and not overdose on it so far to the point whereby they can take it laced with weed, or they can take it laced with heroin, or just by itself over and over and over, and eventually they start going crazy and then they kind of like almost die, or they do die. We're leading the world in overdoses, going to death, which is about 1 million now in the last 20 years, about 100,000 a year now. So we're up much, much higher than it was, but, we're right around 1 million. I think it might be, give or take a few. Give or take a few 100,000, how about that? So this biggest issue here is drugs. 3 out of 4, I may have already mentioned this, are going to be on... the parents already have an STD. 21% of the parents currently have an STD. There's a lot of mental stuff going on with these families. You got people fighting for what they call custody. It's sick. And Children and Family Services has gotten really out of control. I've met many social workers from the Caribbean to Ohio and California, and many here in Florida. They come out. One woman, I went to college with her, in New York. She worked in New York City. She says she's gone into places and, it's gotten so bad at a point whereby even if they didn't have a bed, they just got to brush under the rug. The law is you got to have a bed for the child. Like, that's weird kind of stuff. It's like, yeah, well, obvious, but it's something as simple as that. Having food in the refrigerator. I interrupted my what's up Jamaican jerk. I think about the food thing now. It's like I gotta show you my. I haven't even gotten into this yet, have I? Yeah, I'll show you. Let's do. I can show you this here. Yeah, it's my. I can make my own rice. I made some noodles and stuff today, but then I gotta show you this too. This is really cool. I'm into Jamaican. They do this. Oh, bummer, man. I gotta try to turn this. Yeah, I got it. Okay, cool. Wait, you know what? I got an idea. Super sweet. It's plantain, y'all. I'm trying to show you. So, being by myself, I don't have a whole lot in my refrigerator. I mean, I got quite a bit actually, but not as much as you would with having children, because they just always grabbing things, their fingers being so little, they just want to grab mine. Well, grapes. Did I finish those grapes yet? I got a lot of grapes in there still. Man, I'm getting about a week old now. So just for the world to understand the American child, 21% of their family is currently living with an STD. That's the most mind-boggling to me. 75%, have either had or currently have an STD. And the majority of them are on drugs or doing alcohol or something, and they're just watching television all day. That's the thing. It's like, why are they putting these children in front of these rated R, rated PG? I don't care. The cartoons, it's violent. We're at 20 minutes. We're done. Thank you.